To be a Christian and the radical command of life here is death to self. You can't be a Christian without. You can walk into a church building, you can know the songs, you can play the music even, you can even be in that choir singing and leading worship. But can I tell you, that does not make you a Christian. You can't wear that name tag until you take up a cross. You can't wear that name tag until you take up a cross. And with Jesus setting the perfect example, with Jesus being the ultimate leader, how can I not follow? I can give my excuses. The song says, I remind him of my excuses, and once again he shows me his nail-scarred hands. I'm just a man. I have human tendencies. I've got habits that I've acquired. Don't you understand? And he reminds me that I was flesh too. I felt that too. So if you're going to follow me, if you're going to wear my name, listen, if you're going to wear my name, and you cannot identify with him until you identify with a cross. The cross is the symbol of death. To be hung upon a cross. You can read it for yourself. It was an accursed death. It was an accursed death. But yet, the master became the servant. But yet, the perfect became the sinner. He put on sin. He did not sin, yet he put it on for us. The fleshly nature. And conquered it. So today, this evening on Friday night, with everything going on, where we can just write our excuses out because we're young and because of the school we go to and the family that we come from, can I remind you that his word does not change? Yes. That he said, if you read it with me in Matthew chapter number 10 and verse number 38. For you that does not take up the cross, for you that does not follow after me, just so you know, you can sing the song, you can do the dance, you can be in the Bible study. But until you take up the cross and follow me, you're not worthy of me. You can cry your tears. You can shout your words. But it is essential that if you're going to identify with me and I with you, you're going to have to take up a cross. I said it just a moment ago. What is that? It is complete submission to God. Holy, complete. What is submission? It is obedience that costs something. Say that with me. Submission is obedience that costs something. When I think about it and I understand what he is saying, that I must take up the cross, I must be submitted to him, I want you to know tonight that it is not something that is comfortable. I want you to know tonight it is not something that you can hide. I want you to know tonight when you leave, this is no game, this is no joke, this is not just another message, this is not just another sermon. For him to say to me, Jonathan, if you're going to identify with me, if you're going to claim your healing, if you're going to say that I should be blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed wherever I go and whatever I do, I just want you to understand, Jonathan, don't even open your mouth until you're holding something that I required of you. Sing a song and pray your prayer. But at the end of the day, I just want to make sure you're carrying the cross. I just want to, you say, are you sure? Are you positive it is essential? Are you positive it's necessary? Well, if I can break it down to you like this, let me tell it to you like this. It was no accident that on the way to be crucified, Josh, they had another carry it. I don't know how far he went. I don't know how much he made, but think about it. Your Savior, your love, and the one that loves you. Bleeding all of man, feeling and hearing the mockery when he healed people. Yet they looked at him and said, crucify him. Rather than having a Jesus, a Savior of the world, released, they wanted a murderer. Talk about rejection. But yet we complain. Talk about feeling left out. But yet we say we've got drama and issues in our life. Talk about this for a moment and let me have your maturity here today. Being stripped naked in front of a crowd, a group of people. Nothing. Let them spit at you and mock you, call you king and then slap you in the face. The king. Hail, the king of the Jews. But yet when they looked at you, it was with anger. I could see Jesus holding that cross and carrying it and trying to keep it. He had been beaten. His back was stripped of his flesh. Nothing there. He could not be recognized. But yet on his way there, this is something something that speaks to me. On his way there, the Bible says they had to convince another man to carry the cross. Simon from Syria. My question tonight, where was Simon Peter? They had to compel a man, a foreigner who was there simply just for the Passover. They had to convince him with the sword on his back saying, carry the man's cross. But yet there was 12 men that watched the miracles daily. Yet there was 12 men that sat at his feet. There were 12 men that heard all of his wonders. There was 12 men that seen him, that sat with him, that ate with him. But they were not there. A stranger had to carry the cross. Where was Simon Peter at? Where was the one that said, I'll never leave you, I've got your back, I'll be there for you? The 12 Holly that sang, here I am to worship. The 12 that came to church every Sunday. The 12 whose mothers and fathers were possibly in the pew at one time. The 12 that seen the miracles. The 12 that seen those that were hungry walk away fed, and there was only 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. But yet a stranger had to carry it. Was it an accident? Or was it meant to be? Could I suggest to you today that in it was a point being made that there is going to have to be an individual to carry the cross. And just in case you won't, he'll pick up a stranger. Just in case you're not willing to stand out. Just in case, Moses, you're not willing to identify with Jesus Christ. I want you to know there's going to be another young person that will. I want you to know there's going to be another young man that will. There's going to be saying, well, he was compelled to come. He was made to come. And then they forced him with the sword on his back. Let me tell you something. When you carry a cross, there was always a reward. They named his children there. He was the father of Rufus. And we can turn there if you would. Matthew chapter 15, And they compelled one Simon, a Syrian, who passed by coming out of the country, the father of Alexander and Rufus, to bear his cross. Why does it give the names of his children? I believe, and some could debate. When you read it, I believe it's in the book of Romans. They name Rufus. What's the purpose of giving the names of his son? Because somewhere down the road, Rufus became a leader of one of the churches there. Paul even saluted him. You want to know if carrying a cross is worth it? Let me ask you, how much is your family worth? Come on. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry I didn't put this in a little baggie. This isn't a sack lunch. Maybe this is a full course meal for you to take home. But when you hear me today, how much is your family worth? I can't do it. I don't think I can. Somebody is and somebody will. And if you won't, I promise you there's going to be somebody that comes from the crowd. But if you'll pick it up, if you'll take the load, your family will be blessed. Somebody needs to hear me today. You've been complaining about the burden. Look what I have to do, and look how hard it is. I stand out in school and people make fun of me. You know why? Because there's a reward for it. If you'd be willing to look beyond the immediate loss, hear me today. If you're a visitor here, I know you may not understand everything that I'm saying today, and I apologize. Please come back. Every service is different, but hear me today. If you are willing to look beyond the immediate loss of popularity, if you're looking beyond the immediate loss of losing your own selfish will and desires, I want you to know something. There is an ultimate gain that is worth it. What would it take here today for a young man and a young lady? I've just been going through the motions of Christianity. I've just been kind of just coming to church and doing my own thing. He didn't ask you to come to church and do your own thing. He said, deny yourself. Take up the cross. Can I preach to you today from the heart of a youth pastor that loves you and that cares for you? You can't carry a cross and be hidden.
That's good.
That's good.
You can't carry a cross and keep it in your locker.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, Josh, when there's a cross, I can't get too close to you. Your influences are stopped by the cross. When I'm carrying a cross, there's some places that I don't go because it won't fit in. There's some things that I want to do, though, Pastor Jonathan. There's some things that I want to go. There's some places that I want to make. Well, what are you talking about? When you carry a cross, you're not going to fit in every doorway. When you carry a cross and it's on your back and you deny yourself, you're going to have some people look at you and say, well, wow, aren't you a little bit different? You're going to have some people look at you and say, what are you, a church boy?
Come on. Come on.
You're going to have some people look at you and say, really, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth the laughs? Is it worth people looking at you funny because you wear skirts? Is it worth the fact that your hair isn't as short as others? Is it worth it? I can't live my life and hide a cross. I can't live my life, do my own things and go where I want to go, carrying a cross. There's some places that I'm going to have to skip out on. There's some things that I'm going to have to pass on. There's going to be some things that I can't partake in. Hear me today. There's going to be some things that I can't listen to. There's going to be some things that I can't watch. There's going to be some things that I can't pick up because I'm carrying a cross. Why don't you take your baggage? Why don't you pick up your past? Why don't you pick up the junk that you used to get in? I can't, Shiloh. I am carrying a cross. I can't carry the issues. There's a cross. Is it a burden? Is it a weight? Is it something you should throw to the side? Absolutely not. It's the only way I can identify with the one that loves me. It's the only way I can identify. Oh, hear me today. There has got to be a death to self. So often, and this is what we want to do so many times. Alex, we don't want to carry it. We want to put wheels on it. If I can put wheels on it, it's convenient, Moses. If I can put wheels on it, I can go through life a little faster. What are you talking about? Is it really necessary, Sapphire, for me to be so committed? Is it really necessary for me, Mariah, to do everything that is preached? Is it really necessary for me, Haley, to go through life and live by that rule? Is it really necessary? If I can put wheels on the cross, I can move faster. If I can put wheels on the cross, Adrian, they won't see me as much. I can move in and out without really being noticed. If I can put wheels on the cross, it'll be a little bit convenient. It wouldn't be so heavy, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be so hard, Billy. It wouldn't be too much for me, Tashina. If I could just put wheels on it, it'd be all good, you know what I mean? Just in and out. I could pick it up and put it down when I want. Take it where I want to go, whenever I want to go. If I didn't have to carry it, then I could just kind of prop it up somewhere. You know what I mean?
That's good.
You know what I'm saying when I don't feel like being a Christian? You know what I mean?
Come on.
You know what I mean when I'm surrounded by the friends that don't go to church? You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot better for me to just kind of put it down. I mean, I'll pick it up later. As soon as I get older, you know what I mean? I know what I want to do with my life. I know where I want to go with my life. I'll pick it up. I promise you that. I promise you that. The fact of the matter is this: you will never pick it up unless you take it up now. Because what you will do, you will fill your life with baggage, and rather than the cross on your back, you will have the issues and the circumstances of life and the failures and the mistakes and all of the junk that we wish we never would have visited and took apart. And that is what's going to be on our mind. That's what's going to be on our back. That's what's going to be in our heart. And the cross would simply be too much to bear. Are you sure you know what you're talking about, Pastor?